Since we're approaching the end of 2020, thank God, I thought I'd give people my up-to-date top 10 anime list with any new revisions I've made since my previous top 10. I've got more subscribers now than the last time I did this, so I hope this gets everyone up to speed and also helps people make more informed recommendations to me in the future. I get asked this question quite often, and the middle of my list is constantly in flux at any given moment, so I've struggled to really set anything in stone. I've thought about it a little more, and I've decided to present it here. I don't think this even needs to be stated, but this is my own personal opinion, so take it as such. I'll be going from 10 to 1 of anime series only, not films. Enjoy. At number 10 is PARASYTE the MAXIM. As a huge fan of horror, the imagery instantly appealed to me. I don't know if I enjoyed this more because I watched it alongside Uzumaki Khan's reactions, but the show already had all the elements it needed to make it unforgettable for me. The silent body horror, bromance between Migi and Shinichi, kick-ass soundtrack and fantastic animation. The show always respected the viewer's time and displayed poignant and genuine development for the two main characters with a subtle ecological message at the end. At number 9 is SHINSEKAI YORI. We've seen post-apocalyptic dramas all over the place, but SHINSEKAI YORI's world and history is probably the most fascinating I've seen. I hear it was based off a pretty dense novel, so in that regard I call it a triumph. The show still feels dense with lore without ever getting complicated. A story about men and monsters ultimately becomes a story about gods and men. Equal parts romance, mystery, horror, it combines all of these deftly. As with most great stories with very human themes, the finale is appropriately bittersweet and one of the most memorable endings to an anime I've seen. Not many shows can hit that landing. At number 8 is Ping Pong. Ping Pong invites you into its world with its visual flair. Masaki Yuasa is no slouch, all of his animes are distinctive and have to be watched at least once. What it stayed for was the message that winning wasn't everything. It subverted that trope we often see in shonen or battle shonen. What was on display here was pure character drama and scenes handled with amazing subtlety. Characters who start off as archetypes are subverted in the truest sense. It's the tiniest moments, like a character finding his mum's grey hair on a pack of biscuits she sent him via the mail, or one who finds true fulfillment in life after he loses a game, where this anime shines. At number 7 is COWBOY BEBOP. You probably heard a lot of great things about COWBOY BEBOP, and most of it's true. This is one of the best anime original sci-fi shows ever created. A cast of characters with haunting pasts, with an emptiness in their lives that they filled it with one another. Behind the swagger, wry smiles and bluster lay deeply sensitive characters. These characters decide to escape into the profession, form a family bond that even they don't realize. It's a really dark, funny, energetic show, masterfully animated with fantastic world building to boot. This is one of the shows we just cannot get today. At number 6 is VINLAND SAGA. The newest anime in my list. I'd heard a lot of things about the manga. I was excited to watch the show and fell in love with it almost immediately. Make no mistake, this has all the flair of a Japanese anime, but still manages to keep its world of Vikings grounded. Body counts are high, and even though some characters move like Naruto at times, the show never shies away from the consequences of violence. Nobody has plot armor, fates can turn literally overnight. The animation was inconsistent at times, but in its best moments, it has some of the best work you will see from Wit Studio. Storytelling was never lost in translation. There were no saints in this show. My feelings for characters constantly changed. I went through a roller coaster of emotions, and I appreciate the show reflecting a true portrait of human nature and selfishness. The soundtrack is also easily one of the best I've heard in years. At number 5 is KAIJI. I reviewed KAIJI, so if you want my detailed thoughts, please go check out my anime reviews playlist. But I will say that Ito KAIJI is one of the greatest everymen to have graced our screens. The show doesn't turn gambling into a shonen superpower. It's very balanced with the portrayal of the highs and lows of addiction and the slippery slope. But despite that, it always managed to replicate the butt-clenching tension of sitting at a slot machine and waiting for the slots to line up through its drama. At number 4 is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. For me, this remains the most topical anime in terms of themes for me. A world divided, wars that haunt us, racial divide, corruption of institutions, and the contest between the secular science-focused West and the spiritual East. It handles a huge cast and all these themes without ever betraying its core portrayal of brotherhood between the two main characters. These are just two brothers who only have each other left. I fucking love this show, and it's easily one of my favourite shonen anime. At number 3 is ASHITA no Jo. One of my favourite classic retro anime, the story of a wandering delinquent's rise to boxing fame, one of the great character developments in anime. The show is very masculine, but not toxically so. The show is full of men with pride, but many with honor and dignity, which informs their rise and their downfalls. It has one of the greatest rivalries in anime also. The show feels like it's from a different, simpler time, a time when men did battle as gentlemen, and the romanticism of it. Number 2 is Monster. Monster for me is the most transcendental of the animes on this list. Not to be pretentious, I mean it transcends its medium. It stands up with some of the best live action TV shows to have come from America and Europe. The most grounded of the shows on my list, the mystery drama is unmatched. It has one of the greatest villains in anime. And the way they unravel the mystery surrounding him keeps you hooked from start to finish. Some blame the show for being slow or bloated in the middle, but I've said numerous times the show could be carried by any of the characters in the show. The fact the adaptation manages to tie all these disparate stories together is worthy of praise. By the end, you won't feel that anything could have been cut or removed. Truly one of the greats. At number 1, Nummer 1. It's Legends of the Galactic Heroes, or by the Japanese name Ginga Eiyu Densetsu. This is the greatest anime ever made. I say that unapologetically. The space opera manages to be a cautionary tale about our own fragile history. It's never judgmental. It paints the vices and follies of both sides that are in opposition to one another. It offers solutions. It shows us what real leaders should be like. It fills the show with compelling, well-written characters whose arcs are easy to follow if you engage with it. It has kick-ass openings, kick-ass fucking endings. It's fucking everything. Go watch it, you fucking degenerates. Just want to give honorary mentions to Death Parade, Hunter x Hunter, and Psycho Pass Season 1 that only just made it off the list. I'd place them somewhere in the 11 to 15 range, but I'll have to get back to you on that, man.